Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mr. Evil Dragon XXL. Haven't commentated on this game forever, actually. It's the first time, so this will end well. And welcome to Belgium. And joining me today, I've got a lovely commentator who will introduce himself right now.
Oh, you're too kind. I think I'm indecisive, but I'm not so sure about that. Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to Belgium. And it looks like a dry session at the moment, but we don't know about the race. Anyway, it's good to be here. I'm looking forward to this one.
Indeed. Well, Spa, a circuit which I have the honourable mention of crashing every single time I drive on this game, because for some reason I can't do El Rouge. Always tends to provide great racing normally, so we'll see what I can do this afternoon. Now, we have all 17 drivers today, which is 3 short, if I'm not too mistaken, of the amount of drivers I think we should have. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out as the race goes on. Well, so far, first lap times are coming in 1:42.1. That is by Scope Fighter, who's currently up the top of the timing screen. Only 2 other drivers setting lap time so far. That is first, second, and now J. Luke in third with 1:42.4. So we've got a lot of drivers here that could end up being anywhere in this grid. So who do you think could potentially score pole here?
There's quite a few. I mean, obviously, you see the early pace of Scott Fielder there and Jonas there. There's a few people in this tier that have actually won around this track before. Luke is one of them. I'll check on the other one in a second. Yeah, Janel, if he's here, I think he P8 right now. Janel's won as well. But I'd expect, you know, given what I know about these, Schnickser could be up there. Lawrence has some strong races. He's got a little bit of pace, but not consistent for the race. But you can go Janel, there we go. Goes provisionally quickest with a 1:42.1 as I say that. So yeah, I'm going to stick with that. Former race winner, Janel, is currently leading the way.
Indeed, yep. What about 52 thousandths a second quicker than Scope right now in second position. Jonas in third right now in, I believe that's the Alpha. Though, never know because of the colours of all the cars and slightly because my TV screen is always really dark. It's definitely the Alpha because it's red and white. There we go.
Helpful.
Well, meanwhile, talking of other vehicles, there's a Haas and a Williams battling down the Camel Straight, and there's a Williams going past. Now, that is on 15th position, and that is, if I can manage to get the things up, there we go.
What a lap by Khalifa.
Yeah, Khalifa up to P1.
Him just now, but he is pretty quick.
Well, we'll see what can happen, of course, but lap times we expect potentially even getting into the 40s. I've seen people do that before. Will we see it here today? Potentially not, but I've never say never, I always say, because, well, anything can happen in Formula 1, and very much it always does happen. As Scopefield currently gets a 1:42.1 dead right now, but he is so far 3 tenths off the pace, 1:41.8 for second position, whilst we're just scrolling through all of the drivers. Now I've managed to get the telemetry screen working on my end, so that's good now because the camera's better. So, Scopefield, fastest lap right now, 1:41.8. He sits himself, what, just about 1/10 off the pace, just over 1/10 in the Alpha Tauri. So, this could be interesting to see, of course. All cars, I believe, are equal, as we're currently seeing Yano in the pit lane in the number 24 Mercedes.
Yep, all cars should be equal. If not, it explains why I'm so slow. Anyway. These guys shouldn't have that problem, as we're about to see AJ cross the line in P10, 1:42.7. So a little way to improve to get further up in the grid, but that's not a bad opening gambit.
Indeed, I'm just waiting for the...
Validated.
Yeah, waiting for the Renaults to set a lap time right now. So far, P13 and 14 for Sam and Vihanen. Let's see, though. Sam be the first to cross the line, then through the bus stop, on the power, might we say, out the corner, and blast to the line. Where's he going to go? Can he get himself up to P3? He does go up to P3 on cue, and 1:41.9. So, good lap time for the first of the 2 Renaults so far on their laps. The other one on an out lap. Let's have a little look. Who's next potentially to cross the line? We have got, as we scroll through, it's not going to be...
I think could be Jimbo Manzi who's about to start a lap.
It could be anyone.
On board with him, I suppose, if you want.
Let's go and scroll through as I try and find which one we're on about, because 15th position as I scroll down. Currently coming down towards Radion. Got the other fellow Red Bull up ahead then, so that is of Danstar, I believe that is. So Red Bull's giving each other a nice tow up the camel, so let's see what they can do then. Should be reasonably easy to do this. Toes down the straight. Now he'll presumably pull to the inside here if they're going to work as a team here, or he'll just stay ahead. And now he pulls to the inside. So team play all at work for the Red Bull team so far, blasting through into the com, then up to Normandy, then the right hand up, then down the hill towards Brussels. So anything's always possible down here. Now watch out for the inside here. It's very easy to just snap to brake and go straight on. So we'll see what can happen there as I get all the telemetry up, as I finally figured out where it is. Still learning this game, as you all probably can guess. I don't commentate on F1 very often, so it's always good. Free pull on, almost flat out, 178 miles an hour through the exit, and already up to 190. Almost hitting 200 before you hit the Fania chicane. Always incredible, the speed of these Formula 1 cars. Exit of Fania, what's at the rear end doesn't swap around here, as you now blast your way up to what I always used to call Stavolo 1 and 2, but I believe it's called Stavolo just 1, and the Stavolo 2 is called something else now, but it's always 1 and 2 to me. It's in my heart. Still Stavolo 1 and 2. Then down the blast on the left, that's where the old circuit used to rejoin, and now down toward probably the second most infamous corner on this circuit. It's Blonsimont. There he goes, easy flat in Formula 1 car, though in the wet, always can be treacherous. Down to the former bus stop, because it was a bus stop, but it's been blown over, like I always say, through the exit, the Red Bull. And see where it can go then. Should look like it's going to be around about 5th position, I'd say, up to 8th for him.
Yeah, not a bad lap, but I don't know where he lost it, but possibly into the bus stop. He looked a little deep, so that would have shaved some time off. But yeah, it's definitely not a bus stop anymore. They should change it. Maybe call it Stavolo 2, just because, you know, why not?
Yeah, Stavolo 2. The infamous Stavolo 2. Was it called Stavolo 2 back in the day? I think it was. I don't remember if it wasn't, because my mind plays tricks on me sometimes. But meanwhile, the only other 2 drivers not to set a lap, or 4 drivers not to set a lap time, that is Laurent. We've also got Vihallen, we've got Dan Starr, and we've got Lukey currently in the bottom of the grid so far in the Alpha. Meanwhile, Scopefield, 142.1. He is slowly improving. However, still got a little while to go before he can manage to potentially get that pole position. Well, we're looking at the Alpha so far into the last corner. Can he go? Should be in the pit lane. If he's not too careful, he comes in the pit lane, so he's abandoned that lap time. Waiting for Dan Starr also to finish a lap, and he will be the only other driver outside of the top 13 to not have set a lap time, and so far the only one on circuit of the bottom guys who haven't set a lap time as well.
Yeah, Verhanen invalidated, so just went back into the pits to go again shortly. But just take the focus back, as we mentioned Janel earlier, as a former winner. He expects another podium today. He enjoys Spa, it's one of his favourite tracks. You can't progress if you're having to qualify in the front, because DRS trains are formed, so you're going to be a sitting duck on the straights. Yeah, look for a strong result for Janel once again.
It was always really the one down towards the What's out for the second row normally, I always say, because the second row, you get a nice toe down there, you get a double toe. We saw it almost in the real life race, and we see it in the past with, of course, back then, it was the first race of Racing Point in 2018, and that feels like a long time ago nowadays, but all the way back in 2018.
Nostalgia over here. Ooh, well, anyway, yeah. Another guy to look for, J. Luke, who's just improved his time to 42.2, goes P9. He's also answered his pre-race questions. He definitely...
Oh, we got an Alpha off that, sorry to cut over. That is Jonah going off the road, and that is exactly what you don't want to do into P1. Too much speed, hit that, the evil curb, which isn't there in real life, by the way, but however he hits it, it flies off the road. Very luckily, though, managed to get that car stopped. So, pushing the limits, and the limits very much bite you around that corner, and well, that could be a little prelude to the race if we're not too careful. I think we might see a few drivers hit that curb, potentially.
Yeah, it's always likely if you're pushing to try and catch the guy in front, because you know he's got time penalties, or, as I call them, naughty entry points. Yeah, you could easily do that, because I think loads of people have probably done it in the prospect tier already that I know of, and I'm sure people hit it today. It's easy to do. It's just so easy. But anyway, getting back to my point about J. Luke, who lost a couple of positions last week after a post-race penalty for readying up before the host. Very naughty. He does enjoy Spa, but it's not one of his favourite tracks, but he likes to enjoy racing on it. he expects the unexpected, or in this case, a bottle of Eau Rouge. So yeah, he's not liking that corner, which, you know, wouldn't be the first one of the week to do that. But let's hope he doesn't, for his sake.
Meanwhile, Kian, he's improved up to P6 so far. He was around down about 13th position, so he's up so far and the only Ferrari in the top 6 right now. And, well, Ferrari'd love to be that in real life, but they're too slow. Right now, the second Ferrari, that's down in 15th position. Now, that is probably where a real life Ferrari would qualify, so he can have happiness that he's probably going to out-qualify a Ferrari in real life at Monza, at Spa right now. So, that tells how bad Ferrari are in real life. Luckily in the game, they're all the same car, and Ferrari probably want that in real life, I imagine, don't they?
Well, they'd like to be that high, but they're actually not far off their real life, well, not real life, but their current championship standings. Kian there is currently P6, he's actually 6th overall in the standings with 14 points. And his teammate currently sits 15th in this session, is 14th overall, yet to register a point. So, yeah, about right.
Indeed, well, so far, it is the two AlphaTauris, or the, as I'm always going to call them, the Toro Rossos, because they just mean more to me, Toro Rossos. I want them back. I like the name more, but we'll get used to it. So far, Scopefield, P1. So far, Mr. Simp in the pit lane.
Well, you say that, but I never got over the fact they're no longer called Minardi, so, you know.
Back in the day. Good memories. 1980s to all the way up to 2005. Brought out, of course, so those are good memories. Long live Minardi. Well, technically, Minardi are beating Ferrari right now. They did a Spa. Maybe they will in Monza. Well, by the looks of the pace and practice for Monza, they're doing quite well.
Yeah, I mean, they have to start improving somewhere, but, you know, we'll see. But there's only 2.5 minutes left. This session's flown by.
Indeed, it's flown by like a nice cheese sandwich I ate earlier on. That was very nice. Meanwhile, talking about yellow cheese, you've got a Renault so far in P16 position. However, unlike my cheese sandwich, it wasn't yellow and black, because I'd be concerned if it was, and I probably wouldn't eat it. Nonetheless, the Renault so far, potentially to be named Alpine in next season, going through Blanchimont, Pouan. That'd be interesting if that was Blanchimont there, looking up the right front into Fagna. So far, they're one of only 2 drivers not to set a competitive lap time so far, so do you imagine they want to get a move on pretty quickly?
Yeah, he's definitely out on track now, but he's going to have to go again, because I've noticed he's invalidated this one as well. But yeah, he's low on fuel, so I'm not sure he's going to get a time in.
That's going to be very close.
That from reigning champion there, Eva Hannon, as he was when he won it. Interesting. Of course, he was in the tier below last season, so that's why he won a title there. But I think Yana won the equivalent of this tier, but I'll have to check that. If I'm wrong, apologies. I don't usually talk this much in quali.
Fair enough. Sometimes, meanwhile, Ollie, he's so far in 7th, McLaren up in 7th. The only one of one McLaren in the session so far, as his teammate does seem not to be his so far. Very picturesque helmet, might we say. He's got the nice sparkles on top of it. Looks almost the space-like helmet. Always love black and green as a helmet, a bit of blue accent. So let's see what he can do so far. In nice bright papaya orange McLaren then. So far he's got the Ferrari up the road of him. Now that is, I believe, of 6th position of Kian then. So yes it is. So again, nice toe down here. 43 seconds to go in qualifying. So we're coming to the end. So really right now I think we'll get potentially, I think everyone, as long as they start in the last sector now, should finish their lap time.
Yeah, as long as you keep it in between the lines, of course. Because the last thing you want now is red mini-map, because that's going to really limit your chances of progressing up the field.
Indeed. Ollie, to the line. That's he goes P5 so far, then, so he does improve from P6 and 7 then. That beats Sam. You got Kian just starting his lap. The fellow Ferrari Lawrence down there in 15th. We've got Varian in 16th, still to lap time. He's in the pit lane, so that means his qualifying will be not setting it then. So 16th position, maybe 17th. Depends what Lucky can do then down the back. Lucky Luke, might I say. All the way down the back of Grove so far in 17th. Let's see what he can do as well. Yellow flags crossing the line. That is Scopefield. He's retired from the session. Sam T also retiring from that session as well. So we've got a few drivers still set lap time. We've got the 2 alphas coming through the back of the circuit. First of them will be good old Luke. So let's see, what can he do? Well, can he get himself away from the 000s of last? And let's see, can he get himself up towards the front of the grid through the last couple of corners? Let's see, does he manage to improve? No, he doesn't. He got invalidated lap time, so he stays 17th position of the 15 drivers that have set lap times at least.
Yeah. Of course, even as we know, didn't set one either, so they might be happy with that on this track. They can choose their tyres and just take it at their own pace. They'll cut their way through the field, no problem, and they'll be up there or thereabouts for the end of the race. This is the end of quali. You don't get any points for qualifying.
Yeah. No, Janu crosses the line. He's P3. Danstar in P4 then, so he does improve. What about his teammate? Well, he's in the pit lane. Is Keithler, so he's popped in the pit lane. What about Ollie? Does he manage to improve? He's in 6th position so far. Timing is over, so he has to do it. If he's going to improve, it'll be now. The question is, does he improve? The answer to that is nope. Stays 6th position for him. What about Kian and the other teammate of the Ferrari then? So Lawrence so far in 11th, Kian in 8th position, so Ferrari not doing too bad so far. We've got the 2 alphas still on a lap time, it looks like. So we're just having a look through, and I think actually that might just be everyone then.
Yeah, I think that is pretty much quali done. I don't think anyone's going to improve their positions now. So we'll take Schofielder into pole position.
Yeah, so Schofielder ahead on pole position from Mr. Simpin second, Yano in third. This is, well, definitely because we're just waiting the next 50 seconds because everyone has completed their lap times right now. Danstar fine, fourth in the Red Bull, highest Red Bull, the second Red Bull down in 12th position. Kiev in 5th position, Ollie in 6th, ahead of the Renault Sam in 7th. Kian in 8th position, the highest Ferrari powered car on the grid, ahead of the Alpha in 9th position so far. And then behind them we've got the other Ferrari powered car, and that is of the Haas in 10th. And then guess what, another Ferrari powered car, that's 11th. Then comes the second Red Bull, and then comes the Williams. Fine qualifying from in 13th position for the Williams driver then. ART Ivan in 14th, and has rather decided to rear-end his teammate there due to the AI deciding to not know how to be clever. Oh dear. As they battle them way through. SLR AJ in 15th position, the second Williams, ahead of Vivian and Lukey down there at the back of the grid. Both of them not taking a lap time.
No, it's unfortunate to see, but it's not over yet. Like I said, you can always go forward in a race. As I rejoined the session, I don't know what happened, but I think my PS4's has had enough today. But anyway, I'll soldier through it. While we have a moment, I'd like to thank our sponsors, Next Level Racing, who will provide a wheel stand for the winner of the Going Gets Tough award this season. Give you, as a Going Gets Tough for the people that don't necessarily win races or finish the podiums, but they're attending every race and answering all their questions. They'll be considered in the draw, I guess, for that. And the other sponsor we have is Liam13, who is a fellow, like myself, prospect tier driver, and you can always watch his races from a driver's point of view at twitch.tv/Liam13. And I believe he's providing some sort of he's providing a prize as well, but I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. And but thank you, sponsors. We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Do you know what I said earlier on before we start the thing? Do you know what it's going to do now? It's going to rain in the race. Guess what? It's raining in the race. So, curse number 1 for Evil. 1-0.
My bad. Naughty commentator points.
Naughty commentator points. Well, it's always going to happen. I said it wasn't good. I said it was probably going to rain, and it's raining. So, there we go. Mike's spider senses working fine. Now, the question is, of course, when are the session going to start? Well, 20 seconds of the countdown so far before we get ready to go. Maybe a bit less, depends when the drivers decide to ready up. So, intermediate conditions by the looks of the, well, by the looks of how heavy it's raining. However, you're never going to be too certain how heavy it's raining, because, fortunately from this camera angle, it's a little bit deceiving. But definitely looks like an intermediate start, everyone down there on the grid.
Yeah, it does look like it, but either Ivan or SLR AJF1 is going to get a post-race penalty for readying up early. I didn't see which one it was at first, but I'm sure the stream watch back will give that away. But one of them was a naughty engine straight away.
Indeed. Well, onto the formation that we go then. So predicted stops, of course. Now, presumably in the intermediate conditions, I imagine, would they need to do the two-stop?
Yes.
Yes,
it's
they will.
mandatory two-stop regardless of weather.
Well, this could make a very intriguing race then. So, what we see, well, let's see, the question is though, will it dry up as we go on into this race? That is the question, because that will definitely provide some interesting strategies. So if it does dry, I imagine it'll be inters and then soft, of course. Here you can see the predicted pit stop windows, potentially lap 7 and potentially on lap 15 as well. That is what we predict according to our AWS provided telemetry on the bottom of the screen, which is always interesting when that comes up, what we could be seeing. Now, in terms of who's going to get it down to turn number 1, well, the question is between either Schofield or Mr. 5 in, might we say, who is currently in second position. But never count the cars behind, never count Yanu, never count Dan Starr as well. So it could be very snatchy down into turn number 1.
It certainly can, especially in the unknown intermediate conditions. It's going to be a more conservative start, I think, but whoever is the least conservative should get ahead first. But again, with no DRS, you'd probably want to be at the front now.
Indeed, you very much would want to be getting right up the front of the grid then. So, anything can happen, of course, in this race. Wet conditions, potentially either getting lighter or heavier as this race goes on. Anything can happen here, especially on the opening lap. These drivers are going to be tiptoeing, I imagine, round up a rally on uphill roads for the first lap. Hopefully, we don't see any incidents up there today, because I've seen plenty of them in league racing in previous games on this platform. So, 17 drivers, one very sharp hairpin for turn number 1. Are we going to go and have an accident? I think we will not.
Well, that's a brave call. We had one in the draw, so, you know, I'd be surprised if we don't have any accidents in the opening laps, especially in the intermediate conditions. But as we see, they're going back to the grid now, so we will find out which one of us is right on that front very shortly.
Indeed. Well, I hope you're sitting comfortable. Get your popcorn out, get whatever else you're drinking out, your milk, your evening coffee, your tea if you like tea, or your juice, depends whatever you're drinking. Maybe some water, maybe some Coca-Cola, maybe something else, who knows. But let's get ready to go then, because we're just waiting for the last 2-3 judges across the line. We're waiting for Lukey, who's right down the back of the grid then. 17th position, just pulling into his grid slot right about now then. Then we'll get ready to go then for the Belgium Grand Prix here in Spa then. 22 laps ahead of the drivers. The camera's not really wanting to work with us right now. But here we go then. 5 red shiny lights. When they're off, they're underway in Belgium. The lights are on for an age, and we're underway then. So good start, looks like, from the top 2 then. As for some reason Luke's jumped up to P1. A bit of a glitch right there, but good start from the leading Alpha then. And so far, like, on the inside, looks like the Mercedes is going through, but everyone, it seems, have got themselves A-OK clean through turn 1. One of the Renaults going wide in the background. That might mean Sam going a little bit wide, but everyone clean as they come up our route for the first time. And it's Scope leading from Mr. Imp in second position. Yano in third, getting a mega run up the top of the hill then. Blue flags flying on my scope for some reason. But here we go then, all the way up the top of the cars. And we've got Sam in the wall down at Radion, it looks like already then. So one driver in trouble at the back. As round the outside goes Yano up to second position, past the Alpha in third.
Yeah, that was always going to happen. Eva Hannon was 3 wide with a couple of cars, and he just had nowhere to go. And now he's facing the wrong way, so he's had an incident, but no safety car as of yet. So I don't know which one of us was right on that front. There's incidents, no safety car. Take half a point each, I suppose. Yeah, I'm confused by the blue flags as well, but anyway, Luke is back down in his P15 now, so that's fine. As J-Luke loses a position to SLR, and Schnitzel's lost a place as well as he's gone wide into sector 3.
Yanni, by the way, is really starting to challenge for the lead of this race then, to come down into Stabilo then. And rather getting the move on in the Mercedes-Benz lane, let's see. The black Mercedes versus the rather darkly coloured white and very, very navy blue, dark navy blue might we say, of the Alpha Tower then. So let's see, Merck seems to have potentially got slightly less drag length. Is he going to go send one down the inside? Lap number 1, by the way, around the outside is always possible, but if he's careful, you don't want to make Punterino'd off then. Let's see, does it give the room? Just about giving the room then, but won't. He'll get pinched on the inside. Yellow flag still flying. Looks like we've got another car off. That is Ivan off in 16th position so far. He's having a bad issue, so far, Free Drive is in trouble. As you now come down into turn 1 on that number 2, then so far it is the Alpha Tauri leading from the Mercedes. Then comes the Alpha Tauri and the Red Bull then. Battling side by side up towards our route. It's scary enough in the dry, boys. Don't do it in the wet. And they decide to back off so far. Looks like it's getting heavier in the weather, by the way.
Yeah, it definitely does look like it's got a little bit heavier on the opening lap. So it's going to be interesting to see if it's going to get much heavier than this, or if it's just going to...
Down the inside, that's the Red Bull, the Alpha Tauri, trying to give him a bit of trouble then. Let's see around the outside, the inside line they'll have for the corner removed. Yellow flag's flying again. And that is of Sam, who's gone off the road. Now that looks like he's dropped it at the Radion then.
Yeah, I'm going to be there, Ivan, so we can find out where exactly he's done that. But it does look very much like...
Yeah.
Radion strikes again.
He's got a tank slap on the top of the hill then, pretty much almost like Grosjean. Sorry, it's Mike Grise Magnussen did, and Sam completely access, and he is absolutely furious.
Nice reference. Yeah, I like it. But yeah, VSC time, so all drivers will be just keen to just take a deep breath and get themselves back into this race when they get going. And, yeah, they survived. Oh, there's a speeding of the VSC there now, the naughty engine. Oh dear.
Yeah, I knew the naughty engine. Well, that's going to hamper his race so far, but he's already on for a look up the inside. Now, intermediate and wet tyres in these conditions, potentially. Now, it definitely looks like it's starting to get heavier. Are we going to see a launch down the inside from this far back? No, we're not. A little bit brave if they try to so far. I'm not quite sure why we're still seeing blue flags fly. A little bit of a glitch there as Vivian gets a 3-second time penalty down the back of the grid. Is off the road. That's a Ferrari that's in the pit lane, actually, might we say. So, well, he is off the road because he's in the pits, I suppose. Now, that's for his first scheduled stop. Now, is he going for an aggressive strategy here? Is he going to change tyres? That is always the question. Well, we'll only find out in due course. We'll have a look at the tyre compounds there. Well, if it pops up saying wet, then we don't know he's on the inters. So, it's not wet enough yet for wets.
He's got a drive through there, I think. It's just driven straight through. No tyres changed.
Very odd then. So J. Luke, meanwhile, J. Luke damage. Front wing, and there's problems there.
Oh yeah, definitely, especially in this weather. Sector 2 is gonna be the problem with the damaged front wing.
Yeah, we just be understeering off now. You'll get out the way here.
Yeah.
Tyre, well, it's the entire right end plate completely gone then, so that'll be a pit stop surely. Well, it has to be a pit stop because he'll lose more time than anything else right now so far. Not a lot of action going on up front, by the way. Seems a little bit cooled off, but we've still got the Alpha Tauri leading from the Mercedes in second position. Just chasing, just keeping behind. Behind him, we've got the Red Bull just sitting there as well. So, top three all still together. It's the Alpha, the Merc, and the Red Bull. Technically 2 Red Bulls in the top 3 if you want to count it by that one. So far behind. Then we've got the big McLaren. And then the second of the Alpha Tauris being, guess what? Followed by the other Mercedes.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. And then, of course, you've got a Ferrari and then an Alpha. Which is going to get confusing if we're just saying this quickly. There's an Alpha and an Alpha Tauri.
Yes. The Alpha's getting followed by a Ferrari and an Alpha Tauri and an Alfa Romeo. Alphas everywhere. It could be worse. At least it's not what it used to be. McLaren used to run the same livery. It's down the inside, goes down Star up into second position. Can he get the car slowed down enough? He's going to try and squeeze that Merc right onto the edge. They're almost touching on the exit of the source. And now down towards Elruz and Radion we go. The left hand is Elruz, the right hand is Radion. Up they come then, up through Radion. And get careful not go on those curbs too much because it's easy to get a swapper on. Behind him you can see Ollie's starting to drop backwards then. So here we go, then slipstream. Now they're both going to cover the inside line. They won't do it around the outside. Nice covering there from Dan Starr. Gets the car stopped just about into the con then for the 4th time so far in this race. Is behind them we have now got a switch position. That is SLR AJ up now to 6th position in the Williams. So, on a weekend where Claire and Frank Williams are leaving the Williams team, looks like in the sim community at least, they're definitely trying to give them a bow out then. So far in P6 then, for the beautiful, I must say, I love the Williams livery so far. Yellow flags popping up, and that looks like that's Luke off the road, I think, potentially, or is that Ivan? It's Ivan off the road at Radion.
J. Luke has just pitted for new intermediates, so that's one stop out of the way for him. Yep. Khalifa also pitted early, down in P12 now. Did that quietly. So you got Kian, J. Luke, Ivan, and Khalifa. Well, the one stop. Everyone else needs to stop one more time. Well, once. So yeah, everyone remember mandatory 2 stops even in the wet.
Well, always the question is, though, is do you really want to be pitting this early sometimes? When is your second pit window? I imagine, what, lap 12, 13, as we're now looking at Vian getting easily past. That was more of a mugging right there than anything as he blasts past Luke. Luke rather slow down the end to the entrance of Blanchimont for whatever reason. Must be saving his ERS potentially. Yeah, saving ERS. So that's why he's going slowly. In the pit lane now comes Yanu, Ollie, and also SLR AJ in the pit lane as well. This promotes a few drivers up. Now the question is, where are they going to rejoin in the grand scheme of things? Well, let's have a look at the second Mercedes, and this will give a nice indication. Fastest last sector. Let's see how many people is he going to jump. Well, he looks like he might just get ahead of AJ then, as he come up to the exit. This will be very close then. AJ should get him down the inside then.
He'll be fine, I think. He'll definitely have the momentum to get it done here. There you go.
Easy peasy, but coming back up, Lo. It's not over yet, Lo. Never say never. Because here comes the Williams. Then go, Williams. Go do it. Let's see, round the outside. He's going to pull alongside now. Late braking. Wants to be on the inside here. Be brave on the outside into Lacombe in the wet. Let's see. Keeps his nose there. Now we'll be just about getting the inside for the next corner. However, the Merc will have the power and should easily be able to blast his way through. Let's see, though. Might be an opportunity down into Brussels if he wants to lunge it. Thinks better of it. The McLaren's following suit as well in these treacherous conditions here on lap 5 in Spa.
Well, you say that, but they're making it look easy. Going for overtakes, which I wouldn't even think about in the drive. But these guys are, no, I don't care, it's raining. Here we go. Let's do this. It's, but yeah. You'll have to try a lot harder than that to get past Khalifa. It's very hard to get past wheel to wheel.
Now, talking of one Williams, let's have a look at the other Williams. That is of Sknixels, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Definitely sounds very German to me. And do not quote my mispronunciations. I'm dyslexic, so I'm going to mispronounce everyone today, probably at some point. Up so far, we've got Jimbo. He's currently in 6th position. Following down that Williams, he's currently following down Jonah in 4th position. 3-second time penalty, by the way, for Kian. He has been a bit of a naughty boy down there. 3-second time penalty for track limit warning. But so far, as Mr. M is now in the pit lane from 3rd position.
Yep, we'll see where he comes out, but I was going to say a bit earlier on, I think the perfect time to be stopped in around here would be probably lap 7 and lap 14, because then you get 3 into 7 and maybe, you know, we'll see. But with the early VSC, maybe you could extend it to 8 and 16, but we'll see. I definitely wouldn't have wanted to stop unless there was damage on lap 1 or 2 though. That's definitely not going to...
Oh! Almost contact there up. Ruza cutting to Mr. Implant. That's Ollie and SLR battling together. And let's see then. Ollie round the outside of the Williams. Let's see, can he get the power down on the exit? Cut each other off there. It's almost like a bread cutting competition right now. And they're cutting and cutting a bit more than so far. And so far, that door very much sealed off. And the McLaren now ahead of the Williams. And now behind them, the Alpha Tauri trying to follow that Williams as well. No way through up the inside into Brussels, however. Very difficult to get a position through that. Unless you get a good exit down through Malmedy. And even that, very difficult as well. Now, I imagine Mr. Im right now really wants to be getting ahead of these drivers because these guys are kind of out of position.
Yeah, it's definitely one of these races where people are going to be slightly out of position and you'll see what people around them can do. But he's definitely... going to have the fresher tyres, so he should be able to find a way past relatively quickly as Schnixel, I guess. I still don't know how to pronounce it. I've been here 3 weeks. But anyway, he's got a naughty engine coming But I think there was another one as well. But yeah, I'm fascinated with his battle with Mr. Sim and SLR.
Well, there we go. Don't do it around the outside in the wet. You can do it in the dry. Not in the wet, my friend. Think's better of it. But too much to risk right now as in comes 2nd and 5th position. Let's see. Down the inside, and well, I mean, that's one way of getting through, but we'll get a penalty for it.
I mean,
10 out of 10 for effort. Alas, that's gonna hamper his race, and then now he's gonna get stopped behind. I think he's getting a little bit frustrated right now because just coming up the road, look at them. There's a huge gaggle of them. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. That's all the way. That's what, 4th down to about 7, give or take that.
Yeah, he's probably frustrated because he knows it's quicker than the guy in front. He just can't find a way past. Can't be alongside where he needs to be. But he'll find that.
Talking about getting past. There goes the Mercedes down the inside. Lukey a bit wobbling on for the exit of down towards Camel. Then out of the tricky uphill sections of Elruz and Radion. Rear end stepping out. Straight through comes Khalif then into 5th position. Behind them, we've got that McLaren. Look how much he's pulled ahead. No, I said you go down the inside into Brussels. Well, guess what? There goes the AlphaTauri down the inside into Brussels. Squeezes in wide, but here we go into X corner. Oh, has to be back out of it. Yep, he does have to back out. Through X they come. Then a Mr. Implant, now up to P8. But look at the time. They've lost up to Ollie so far. He's pulled right ahead.
Yeah, and another thing you should note about Khalifa is he likes the undercut. So he's tended to stop early in all races so far. It's usually worked out for him more often than not. So hopefully today's another masterclass for the man. And we'll see if he can get a podium.
Well, never say never, of course. Well, we've got Dan Starr. He's currently in 2nd as in comes your race lead. Now, we believe he should be okay for where he is. He's what? He's a 15 seconds up the road from Snixels in 2nd position. The aforementioned Williams driver, who's currently got Jonas, who's currently bailing off into the pit lane so far. And I don't think he'll be even challenged from 2nd and 3rd right now.
He might just about get through, but on the way out of the pits, he's definitely 2nd place. Good time to stop when you've got the window.
Yeah, he does. Comes out in the lead, well, in the net lead of this race. Snexel still yet stopped. However, the question is, look, these slightly cold tyres is always going to be interesting. In comes Jonas and Luke in the pit lane just behind, by the way. That is 9th and 13th position, respectively, down there. Also have a little look going on down there. And, oh, they're almost 3 abreast nearly then into Rail Rouge, as that is Jonas dropping 1, 2 positions. Now Yanu trying to come through on Zimbo then. So here we go, slipstream straight. No DRS, of course, so it's going to be difficult to try and get down the inside or the outside. Late braking in the wet, always difficult. Thinks of it as they all start to close up on Vivian in 9th position so far. Yellow flags, and that is a DNF. That's Lawrence. He's gone off, and that is up Radion. And is he gone off in the same place? Very same place. Heavy onto the arm coat. Safety car.
Full safety car. Well, this is perfect for Schnitzel. His inability to stop shouldn't cost him too much.
It should.
Just trying to do the maths on where it will bring him out. That'll
7th, 8th, I reckon.
Yeah, top 8 definitely. Yeah, interesting. At racing speed, he probably would have dropped a bit lower than that. So
he's a very lucky puppy.
Yeah, very, very. But it's a long way to go still. We're just about a third of the race done. So yeah.
I reckon we could see some people stop right now to go to the end of the race. They can do it. You can do a run stop if you were doing a one-stop strategy. Pit around now, go to the end of the race normally if you needed to. So let's see, is anyone going to go and bail into pit lane and try and do that stop? Are we going to see Scopefield doing that? Now, surely they're all going to come in now. They're all going to come in. There we go. So pretty much bang on your money then.
You're just going to have to double stack though. That's the problem there, doing that. Behind a safety car, it's probably best to do it behind a safety car because you lose less time than at racing speed. But looks like there's a party in the pit lane.
Is anyone staying out? That's the question. Is anyone going to risk it? No one's going to risk it, surely. Yeah, they're all coming in. It's very much right now the pit lane party, and Snixel he's on the soft tyres. Well, what's happened there? Well, that is a masterclass strategy there from the Williams driver. And, well, I can only imagine this isn't going to end well.
An error. Surely it's not ready for slicks.
It's definitely not. It's pouring with rain. It's chucking with rain. Well, this is an audacious strategy. You know what? We said this has worked really well for his favour. Well, guess what? It really hasn't gone well now, has it?
At the moment, it's tempted to say no, but he is behind the safety car, so maybe it's planned to stop raining very shortly, and he's thought, screw it, let's try it now.
Yeah.
But I'm questioning the call, but we'll see if it pays off as the race develops.
Well, a very unusual scene.
Stockfield is net leader because he's 2-stop mandatory anyway.
Well, the question is, if it does dry, then this is a really masterclass strategy. However, by the looks of the rain, by the way, I'm seeing on the top of my timing screen and everywhere, it looks a bit damp right now, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. It's still raining, you can see it on the car and everywhere, but who am I to question it?
Well, this could either be a horrible mistake by his part, the game might have put him on the wrong tyres, a masterclass strategy, or we're about to see a horrible accident, or he's going to come in the pit lane on this lap, into the stop, put another set of intermediate tyres on, and that'll drop him right down to the back of the field.
It would. It's a very unorthodox way to make your mandatory 2 stops under the safety car. But let's see what happens. I'm just looking through the field, and everybody has either gained or lost positions, apart from Ollie, who's exactly where he was at the start.
Indeed, expecting safety car in next lap. We're just waiting on Ivan, who's right down the back of the field now. He was the driver who was stopped at Radion earlier on. He spun, of course, up there. Luckily not to hit anything, by the way. So we're just waiting him to catch the field. One more lap under safety car conditions, I believe, because I think it's about 2-3 laps debating on the collision or the damage. Is Schnitzel going to come in the pit lane? Well, if he does now, he should. I think he should actually come out in 15th position, 14th maybe. Let's see. Is he coming in? Is it a mistake? It was a mistake. No, he's staying out. No, I thought he was dummying.
No,
meanwhile,
that's a mistake.
There's been a switch of positions, by the way, between Vian and Mr. Imp, I've just noticed there, because they have just switched positions, so, not quite sure what's going on there.
No, I've missed that one, unfortunately, but, baffled.
A little bit of a, naughty driver, that.
Nope. No one else is on the softs or any other slicks, so... yeah, well, never mind.
Remember, 2 drivers out of this race. That of Lawrence and Sam, both dropping it up at the infamous Radion corner then. Easy to do. 2 wide at the top of the hill, or 2 on the inside. You're just going to get thrown off into the wall. Always a possibility, of course. In the dry, it's easy enough to do. In the wet, it's more even paramount. It's almost certain if you go off the line, you're going into that wall.
Yeah, it's a near certainty if that happens, but I think you can get away with it on 1% of occasions. But it's unfortunately the people out of the race above in the bottom of the field with no points. But anyway, we'll see. Lawrence sitting 14th overall with no points, unfortunately, and Sam is down in 16th overall, also with no points, both 37 points behind the leader, who is Janel in the Mercedes.
He's so far in 11th. A long way to go into this race, though. Not even got half distance. Well, we should get half distance, believingly, if the safety car comes in this lap. Now, if I'm not too mistaken, which I usually am, should be this lap. Let's see, it not be this lap. Well, it is this lap.
I was going to say, it's coming in this lap.
Yeah, it is.
I was about to say, if it's going to come in, you'll see it about now as they come through this, well, the double sort of
Stavelot.
right, and into sector 3. That's where it tends to pop the message saying safety car in this lap. So Schnitzel is picking up the pace, but it looks a little lighter out there.
Well, the question is, what are they going to do when they come down to turn number 1? Are we going to see... This could be either one of 2 things, a masterclass, or we're about to see him dive straight into the pit lane right now. No, he's staying out then. He's gone earlier, looks like, as well. So, he's dropped it on the 3 out of the last corner. And that is not going well. And away we go then. And Schofield immediately leads then. Through down Thor in second. Jonas in third. We're keeping an eye on this Williams because now he's getting swamped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions down. 8th position. 9th position. And they're going to be careful. They want to watch out because that car's going to go backwards. It'll be spinning, I reckon, off. El Rouge, he's not going to make this corner. He's going to go off into the wall. He's going to have to be backing right off of it. He does. Down into 11th. Down into 12th. Then comes the 13th. And then comes the 14th. The worst start I've ever seen. And if there's problems, there's even more problems.
Yeah. I guess we're right to question the strategy call. I don't know why he wouldn't, at least. I mean... Surely
he should have came in the pit lane though. Surely that was a prime opportunity to come into the pit lane, get another fresh set of intermediate tyres on, then you could still catch up to the back of the field. Now he's pretty much condemned himself, unless of course it stops raining, which by all accounts it doesn't look like it's going to. That's pretty much him out of this race for the foreseeable future. Now never can say never, safety cars and all still come out, but he's put himself in a massive disadvantage, but he hasn't gone off the road yet.
No, but he's pretty much, like, he's not full throttle anywhere, and he's struggling to slow the car down even then, so he's definitely having a nightmare right now, but they're still fine. Remember, Jensen Button's 6-stop Canada race, he won the race, he was last. I'm not saying that's going to happen here, but it's possible.
Not many things possible. Meanwhile, Ollie having a look up on 4th position so far in 5th, now challenging for 4th, round the outside into the bus stop. Should easily be enough then, straight through, clear around the outside before they even got to the second part of the corner. Here comes the second Williams. Now completely opposite lock then, trying to go around the outside, that's AJ. Let's see then, round the outside. Can he break late? Round the outside into turn number 1 then. Now be brave as well. Be side by side up into Radion as well. Gives him a bit of a squeeze on the exit for good call. Still side by side then. As they come down towards Radion. You don't want to do it in the dry. You hardly want to do it in the wet. Here we go then. Side by side up the corner. And they touch. They touch on the top of Radion. That was always going to happen. Damage on one car. It's to him. Maybe damage as well. Is that a puncture? Who knows? But he's going backwards as well.
Yeah, that's not gone well for him either, but there's a bit of a traffic jam in the midfield now.
As here goes the Mercedes of Yano trying to go around the outside of Jimbo. Let's see, brave stuff to go around the outside through Monwoody. Does he do it? Gets him around the outside. Pretty nice stuff there. There goes Mr. M trying to go down the inside of the Renault meanwhile. It's all kicking off right now here on that number 12. This is what the safety car can do. It'll squish them all up. Has a bit of lag left for Vian then as well, so... That's not what you want to be doing. A bit of lag, gets himself back on the road, but that's now Yanu. All to be right on the rear of him right now. He's probably sniffing the rear end of that Alpha Tauri going, I'm going for 6th, I say, because if you're not going for it, I'm going for it. The question is, where are they going to make moves?
Well, knowing these lads, is anywhere. They're going for moves in places I wouldn't even consider in the dry, and it's raining, so I'm just Williams are going to be tearing the hair out if they have any left, because they're both having a shocker.
Oh, he's going through him. Here we go. Alpha Tauri and the Mercedes then side by side. Yana on the outside into Blonsimon in the wet. Surely not through there. Yes, still side by side. They're trying to squeeze each other then. Let's see. Can he go down the inside? Can he get the car slowed down? Let's see. Alpha Tauri should have the inside line here. Should now. He'll squeeze him out wide. He'll squeeze him out wide all the way off to the curve. He does do so. Completely in the rule books then. So, giving him absolutely no courtesy. Are we going to see a lunge on the inside from the championship leader? Thinks better of it so far. Just sits back. Just relax. You still got 11 laps to go, give or take, in this murder race. And everyone just needs to cool down. Just have a chill. Just have a little bit of a breather. And then go back on it in a second time as he come up Radion. Then here on that 13 so far. And that Merc always looking hungry so far. But it's the Renault going through on the Alfa Romeo, might we say. And that's now Vivian up into 5th position. Round the outside into the comp. Easy enough then down the Camel straight. Then Jonas dropping back in the Alfa Romeo. He's only done one stop, by the way, too. He's in the wall! Whoa. And that's the Alpha Tauri. And has he got damage? I think he got away with it.
Yeah, he hit it pretty side on, so if anything has fallen off, it will be the side end plates, if that. But I think
He's
he
got
may
away
have
with that.
away with that one, yeah. Lucky boy.
Well, it's not going to be lucky for long. Look, here comes a Ferrari of Kian down the inside. That's for 9th. Slips it down the inside. Now there's contact. Now I think there might be some damage on that car. Definitely something coming off the Ferrari, at least, on my screen. As Jonas now drops down.
Something definitely flew off there, but I didn't see which part of which car it came off of. But it did look a bit red, so I'd argue
no grip.
Yeah, it's getting to a strange part of the race, I think. It's definitely...
It's getting wetter, it looks like. It's like he's driving on baby oil right now.
Yeah, that's never ideal. Never ideal.
Down to 11. Here comes Luke. Is he going to have a look at the inside of Kian? Kian will have to cover it. Around the outside. Thinks of it. Can't do it there. The Ferrari goes a bit deep. Now try the cut back. And then see. Runs into the rear of the Ferrari nearly about. As then in the pit then comes Mr. M. So it looks like he did get some kind of damage then. Potentially slight front wing damage, which we can't see, of course. Around the outside goes Luke, but runs a little bit deep. Kian might get the sliver up the inside of opportunity. Thinks better of it.
Yeah, it's ironic that Schofield's just said the quickest lap of the race, because in his pre-race interviews, he said that he likes Spa, he enjoys driving here, even if he isn't the fastest. Well, clearly, all he wanted was some rain. He's away. Look at him.
Meanwhile, there goes Jimbo. Up to 7th, past Jonas. Jonas really dropping down now. This was in about 5th, 6th position. Now he's all the way down in 8th, of course, from earlier on when we got the restart. Remember, he's out of position still. Like I said here on, he's still got that stop to go. So imagine he's got to stop within the next, 6 laps? Otherwise it'll be a disqualification.
Yep, that would happen. It's already happened, I believe, in Prospect here. Still checking on that, but a couple of drivers did a 1-stop, I think, so that should promote people. But yeah, I'm sure he won't forget. But yeah, the Williams have Schnitzel's on the right tyres now. He's last, but at least he can stay on the road.
But he's not too far off his teammate, might I say, who looks like he's got... Has he got some damage? No, he doesn't.
His teammate just had damage. He's gone in and changed the wing.
Good spot. I was looking at Mr. M, who's also coming to pit lane, so he still could get 13th position in this race if everything goes his way. But so far, huge gap up towards... You've got the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a huge gap down to 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th.
Yeah, of course, it's not all loss if you're 11th down, because we also have points for fastest lap in and out of the top 10. Right now, it's Scholfielders in the top 10, and outside it is Ivan in the Haas.
Oh.
He's now in the top 10, so now it will revert to AJF1 in the Williams, I think. Oh no, it is a Williams driver, but it's the other one, Schnitzel.
Yeah, Schnitzel then.
But yeah, it's... changes lap by lap, so as I said in commentary last week, every corner matters on every lap. It's brilliant.
Meanwhile, the Haas and the Ferrari going to battle there. This is Ivan trying to get past Kian, then up towards Radion, as Yano now gets himself up into 5th position past the Renault just up the road. Behind them, let's see, we're going to see the Haas down the inside of the Ferrari. No, we're not. Are you a little bit too far back so far? The other Haas just up the road as well, so the Haas boys going for Steiner, who's probably got a big smile on his face right now.
Yeah, I'm just checking the weather, and in certain corners it looks like it's stopped raining, but it hasn't. It just... my eyes are playing tricks on me, because I think they're older than the rest.
No, yeah, the wind direction, of course.
Definitely confusing me, so I won't get too excited if I see no rain, because I know it's still raining, I guess. But it does look a lot drier out there as well at the same time.
Indeed, well, clouds starting to disperse ever so slightly up the top of the circuit. Now, always it says it's Spa. It's got its own localised weather cloud, of course. And as I've always said, if it's raining the Nürburgring, you can guarantee it will rain at Spa in about half an hour, because that always happens. They're very close in terms of location. I think about 30 miles in their own little valley area. So it rains one place, it will rain eventually at the other. In fact, meanwhile, all over the back of that Ferrari, just sitting there, just waiting his move wide, and well, that's one way of trying to gain positions. Let's see, he's going to lunge up the inside for it. Couldn't do it though. Ferrari just keeping himself nice and cozy.
Not on this occasion, but I'm sure he'll try again shortly. But Kian got a very good exit there to protect his P9 for at least another half a lap or so. Remember, no DRS in these conditions, so everyone will be thinking, oh great, I could just keep driving. DRS changes lives, not lives, but races for people. I don't know why I said that there. Anyway.
Well, it could do.
I might.
Let's see, well, here we go. Now I think they're going to come through. Look, wide up our Rouge, up rally on then. Let's see. Kian's going to have to cover the inside yet again. They did this last time. However, you can see the Ferrari. He's using his ERS, I think.
Yeah. I think he had to really, because he's given such a good tow to Ivan in the Haas there. And just counter it with your ERS. But seems to be on this occasion he couldn't quite find a way through. So that's good defending from Kian.
And defending always light. Jonas meanwhile, time penalty there. That's I think his 9th second. I'm not quite sure. We'll send our fellow comrade to the penalty box and see how many penalties everyone got.
I'll check. Yeah. 0 for the leader. Nothing for P2. Khalifa has 1. He's in P3 all of a sudden. He's done that quietly.
Yeah, he's been quiet, hasn't he? Meanwhile, Renault on Red Bull. This will be personal, I reckon, between these two. Jimbo, just ahead of Vivian. Vivian trying to come through. Won't be doing it there. He's rather jumping back. Here comes the Haas having a look at the line on the inside. They break him on the Haas. Down the inside he goes. He'll be squeezed off wide though because he's not going to do it there. Around the outside, be brave. Yellow flag set to 3, and I'm wondering who that is. That's the that's Nixel who's gone off the road again down the back.
Oops, he's on the right eyes this time. Anyway, yeah. There's not many penalties going out. J. Luke has 1, Eva Hannon has about 3, and Khalifa has 1. But everyone else, okay, Ian has 1. Ryan in the Haas has 2, 3, 4, 5. Calm me down a bit. Lukey 1. Oh, we're not losing count yet. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. AJ in the Williams. Jonas has 4. These divisions are very tricky. 1 for Mr. Simp.
I'm talking about Mr. Simp. Here we go then. He's going to go make a move on 13th position. Down the inside to be easy enough on the inside. Late braking. Almost contact, a little bit of contact down the straight there. A little bit naughty from the pair of them there. Just giving itself a bit of rubbing noses there. The Alpha on the Alpha. And it's the Alpha now ahead of the Alpha. So, make of what that you will. Because to me that just sounded like a load of just Alphas.
I guess it depends which way you're facing.
Meanwhile, to the other Alpha, and that is of Lukey. He's currently in 11th position. He's not being a bit lonely right now. He's a little bit behind the Haas just up the road, or the Haas and the Ferrari battle. Only more battle going on now on the circuit between these two drivers. They've been going at each other. Just trying to unstable each other, just trying to find each other a little bit of a pit window. However, a little bit too far back to try and lunge it, and they will not be pitting unless something miraculous happens. Let's hope no damage happens, as that's going to be another penalty for Ivan then.
Yeah. He's going to get disqualified if he doesn't.
He's definitely putting his luck through Blantimont. Runs wide yet again through there. Schofield keeping himself nice and cool up front. 1.3 seconds up the road from Danstar in second. However, it's the other Mercedes, well, the top Mercedes in third of Khalif, ahead of the championship leader in fifth.
Yeah. Actually, how would that change if I do the maths? What was Khalifa in the standings? Khalifa's third overall in the standings with 27, so there's a lot of maths to do, but the championship leader would get 10. Yeah. I think he keeps his overall championship lead by a couple of points if he finishes where he is now, with those around him.
Mr. M, I think he's gone off the road up Radion. He has gone off the road up Radion.
Yeah, very slow, but...
Oh, and then he goes again.
That's...
Oh dear. That, too much power, he's too anxious to get the fuel. Yeah, he's got no grip out there. He won't get any grip on the grass, my friend.
No. Oh, he's having a nightmare. It's all gone horribly wrong for him.
Tyre's overheated, of course. Flat spotted horribly.
Yeah.
Let's go straight on. Airborne. 10-second time penalty. That's a punishment.
I'm not even surprised.
I reckon this is going to be a potential early retirement. I reckon he's not going to be happy with this. Straight on.
No,
he looks absolutely livid.
He looks annoyed. You can tell from his body language, which is weird to say, but he's definitely not having a good time right now. But who is having a good time? Schofield is just chilled at the front. Just nice and easy.
Yeah, he really has just had a nice cool race as we now go back to the action between Jimbo and Luke. The battle for 6th and 5th position so far. We've got Cleve, by the way. He's really caught up to Danstar right now, potentially even be trying to make a move. You know, never say never in this race. Cleve's still got a chance of winning, though he has that 3-second time penalty. So really, right now, he's just trying to pull that gap from Ollie.
Yeah. Not that it matters, because I think Ollie had one as well, so... Let's double check that. A lot of people in the top 10 have. But yeah, I think... Oh yeah, no, Ollie is one of the ones that didn't.
Meanwhile, Red Bull and Luke switching around. That's Jimbo now behind Luke then. So Luke, 6th position for the Haas driver. Finally dispatched that Red Bull. He's been following him the last couple of laps. And finally, down the inside, looked like an easy move. Seems the only real opportunity you're going to get is down the start line. And Mr. Imp, another time penalty for his measures. And, well, he
made it to the pit lane.
Made it to the pit lane at least. Fair play.
Yeah.
Well,
and
retires in the pit lane. Well, fair enough.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him, to be honest, but just a miserable race for him, but he'll come back next week stronger and looking to bounce back in the best possible way. Unfortunate tonight, but
that can happen.
It's not your race.
Oh, one AlphaTauri, one AlphaTauri, still in the lead of this race. 1.5 seconds up the right. Here comes Khalif though. He's having a look at Danstar. Let's see if he can lunge it. Nope, too far back yet again. Covers him off just about. These guys, we've got what? 3 laps to go, give about. We're on that 20 coming on to right now for the top 3 drivers. 2 and about 3 bits to go. And then we'll be right across the line and the checker flag will be out. And everyone will have a nice, long, warm, cosy bath, I reckon, after this.
Or a lie down, one of the two.
Let's see though.
Yeah.
Red Bull, Mercedes, good exit. Here we go then. So, is he going to be the same thing? Of course, no DRS, remember. Otherwise, he'll be straight past. Covers the inside now. What he'll do, he'll just pull to the racing line because now he knows he's not going to lunge down the inside because I didn't contact. So, he's rather got that one scouted right now. So, really, if I was Khalif right now, I'd be trying to unsettle him. Try and just get up. Just try and make a dive occasionally into some more obnoxious corners where you could just try and out-of-place Danstar. Try and make him a little bit of twitch, of course. Let him settle him. Then you'll get through on the inside of some next corners.
Yeah, it's definitely one strategy that drivers use to their advantage, but maybe he just doesn't feel that confident in these conditions to do that. He's just focused on not putting it into any of the barriers, which could delay you speed. But just having another look at the standings, and I think I may have got it slightly wrong. If Schofield holds on for the win,
oh, snicks him. And that's Rally on as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that losing it in that corner. As we said at the top of the race, it happens to all of us at some point, I think. But yeah.
Meanwhile, Haas versus Ferrari, and the Haas now ahead of Ferrari. Ferrari trying to kill the inside line, however, can't do it for too long. Finally, the Haas gets ahead of that Ferrari. And the American outfit now ahead of the Italian outfit, though saying that won't be for long if he does that, however. Big twitch on the exit. Let's see if he can come for it. No.
Oh, there's another penalty for a Williams driver. Oh dear. Miserable afternoon for Williams.
Yeah, very much is turning into a nightmare to forget for the Williams outfit. They're up there doing well, and it's gone from bad to worse to even worse. However, they are both still in this race. And that's the crucial thing.
Yeah, you've got to keep going in this league, because as we said, fastest lap outside the top 10 could be important too. That's how I have my only point of my one racing career. because I finished 11th in Belgium last season, ironically enough. 11 out of 11, yes. But hey, it counts, right?
Yeah, my last, you did score it. Both the alphas in the pit lane right now. That is of Lukey and Jonas. That's mean what? Up front, the alpha's still leading.
Yeah. Fastest lap outside top 10 would go to the Williams, ironically enough. After everything that's gone wrong.
And you've got 1 point in the bag. Potentially. They never say never.
Almost, yeah.
1 lap to go. Battle's still going on for second and third. Down the field, not a lot of else action going on. They've just been keeping each other tabs. Now, crucially, as I believe Ollie doesn't have a penalty, does he?
No.
So crucially, Ollie is on the podium right now. So really, Danstar helping the McLaren out quite a lot by just battling. Just being a nuisance, just being in the way.
He is a warning away from one, but currently no penalty for him.
Indeed. Well, there we go then. Final lap of this race. Schofield up the top of the field. And well, J. Luke for his second time. Penalties, yellow flags, and that's Blodgimon. That's the Red Bull. That must be of Jimbo. He's gone off the road.
Yeah, he's.
Now, where's that? How's he done that? And well, I mean, that's not a very fair penalty.
That's a bit harsh, game. Come on.
You've beaten a man whilst he's down, and
man, that's just throwing salt in an open room. That
so we won't get that. Will and that.
Wow.
That's a really awkward place. He's not going to get that car turn now. He'll have to do a 3-point turn. That's. There we go.
There you go. Good lad.
Oh.
Anyway.
Go on, in the pits. There we go.
Williams into the top 10.
Well, that means,
Jimbo Man's had enough. Interesting.
That now means it's between Luke, Jonas and Snixel to get that fastest lap. Ivan, meanwhile, still trying to come through.
Snixel. Unbelievably, Williams are going to get 2 points out of this. After everything that's gone horribly wrong. Wow. That is, wow. Just shows we know nothing, apparently.
We'll never say never, of course. Anything will happen. Meanwhile, down the inside, thought of it down into Pooh on there. That is of about up 7th and 8th position. Ivan can't quite do it. Meanwhile, to the top of your order. And it's Schofield. Silent. But assassinating the field. 1.3 seconds up the road. Will not be the biggest gap of all time, but he's just kept it where he needs to be for the last corner. Ivan, penalty as well. And across the line, Schofield wins the Belgium Grand Prix. Danstar second. Cleveland third. And crucially, Ollie will not get 4th. But will get 4th.
Lost some time there. I would have put money on Khalifa losing a podium there in these conditions, but he held on. Janu
Champs-Élysées are in 5th. Meanwhile, down the back of the course, side by side, this is between Vian and Ivan. Ivan just behind, but I think it's going to be a drag race to the line, but on penalties, I think.
It'll be penalties, yeah.
Vian will get it.
Just about. Kian jumps to 7th.
No, but he gets a pair of them. Well, he's going to be a happy puppy, isn't he?
Hang on. 2 points for Williams. What's happening? Williams has just gone to P9. Ivan had way too many penalties. And Lukey finished in the top 10.
Mr. Crash, go on, Luke. Go on. Let's see. It was 15 seconds, I think it was.
It's going to be close, I think. No, not quite close enough.
Jonas in 12th. Let's see. Is the fastest lap reward going to be? Is it going to be then for the fastest lap? And to the top 10, I think, yeah. It is going to be Snicks, also double points then for the Williams. 3 points in total, and I think that, deservedly, might just get shout out of the afternoon for Williams.
Yeah, I mean, who thought when you've got a driver tootling around on soft tyres in the pouring rain, he walks away with the fastest lap point.
And I think that might be deserved. Let's see, can he go quickest? If he goes quickest, I think that might be rewarding. He does go quickest! Fastest lap as well.
There you go.
So is that completely and utterly dominated the fastest lap of all time around the circuit, and that is a man who snapped his neck.
Well, there you go. The in-game driver of the day is either Hannon or Verhainen or whatever it's... I
don't even know.
Renault driver.
The Renault driver.
That's easier to say.
There's top 10 of the podium then, and it is Red Bull 1-2 by technicality, but it is the junior team on the top 10 of the podium.
Now we've got to think of a driver of the day each. Yeah, okay.
Right.
Given that you're new here this week, I think I'll go first and give you some more time to think about it, if that's all right.
Yeah, you can go first.
I will, and you also have to think of a question too, if you weren't aware.
This will end well.
Yeah. Tricky. So many candidates today. Again, I say that every week, but generally, I think I'm going to go with Eva Hannon in P8, who came from 16th on the grid to 8th overall. Got a few penalties, but managed to show a little bit of his form. And the question I say is, you showed some glimpses of your form that got you a championship in last season. Are you happy with today's result? Is that the best you could have done? And I'll hand it over to you for your nomination.
Well, my driver of the day, I don't know. This is going to be difficult. I'm on the spot. Oh, God.
It is hard. I'll be honest, it is difficult. I changed my mind 3 times in that sentence when I was warming it up. So
it's got to go through the field. I mean, you've got the likes of Kian, you drove a rather quiet race. Vian as well, up from 8th from 16 from the grid. But to me, it's got to be the man who managed to, despite being 13th position on the wrong tyre compound, still manages to surprise us. And when we doubt the Williams pair, they would still get some points. So my question to my driver of the day, which is the second Williams driver, which I've immediately forgotten the name of, because that's just gone, it's blanked out my head. Snixel, the more possible name. My question to him is, was that a mistake? Was that planned all along? Who knows? However, the question is, where will you go for next week?
Is that a genuine question? Do you want to know the track for next week, or?
Well, I imagine that the question for next week is it's going to be Hungary, because that's what it says on my screen.
Well,
yeah,
it's a track I'm not looking forward to next week if I read it right. But anyway, whatever it is, let's get the track while we round off this stream. Before we go, we just want to thank our sponsors once again. Next Level Racing, who are providing a wheel stand for the winner of the Going Gets Tough award. The drivers that don't necessarily finish in the top 3, I think, but attend most races and attend all their media obligations, are always going to be in the running for that award. So yeah, thank you to Next Level Racing for that. And the other sponsor is Liam13, who provides trophies, I think. So yeah, thank you to those sponsors. If you want to follow Liam's progress every week on Friday, he races in the 6:15 lobby, and you can see him at twitch.tv/Liam13. That concludes our sponsor requirements for the week.
Indeed. Well, on that bombshell, because I don't know, do we get some drivers in for interviews, or is
no?
Do we not do that?
So far.
We haven't done that. Well, I'll potentially next week I'll see if we get some in. But nonetheless, on that bombshell of Spa in the horrifyingly slightly damp but not the worst conditions in the world, I've been evil. Indecisive has been very indecisive as always. Thank you very much. And the last words for you, Indecisive.
Good night, everybody. Stay safe.
On that bombshell, take care and goodbye from Belgium.